Thor: Love and Thunder was directed by Taika Waititi. Thor embarks on a journey unlike anything he's ever faced, a quest for inner peace. However, his retirement gets interrupted by Gore the God Butcher, a galactic killer who seeks the extinction of the gods. And let me tell you, this movie, we're gonna get into it. So first of all, I just want to say, give a little bit of context. I'm gonna tell you guys what I think about Taika Waititi as a director in the Thor movies, I should say. The first Thor, I actually really enjoyed that one. It's not by far the best MCU movie, and it's far from being absolutely memorable, but it has a lot of enjoyable elements in there, a really good storyline, and a really good self-discovery story for Thor. For the Dark World, we all know that that one is absolute garbage. At Thor Ragnarok, a lot of people seem to be in agreement that that movie is good. I am not one of them. I never really enjoyed Thor Ragnarok that much, honestly. The elements in that movie that I like I do like the fight between him and the Hulk. I do like a lot of the other extra characters added in. I do like the color palette. That CG is really good. Jeff Goldblum's always good in whatever he's in. I also think a lot of the jokes in that movie actually hit a lot more now than they used to when I watched it for the first time. But at the same time, it's not overly funny to me personally. A lot of people say it's absolutely hilarious. It gets a little chuckles here and there from me. So starting off with the positives for this movie, what worked for you in Thor Ragnarok is definitely going to work for you in this movie because they crank it up to 11. That may also be the biggest problem to this movie, but I'll talk about it later. Chris Hemsworth, really good. Always good as Thor. Great to see him as always. Taika Waititi definitely brings a different style to the franchise. Different music choices as well, really engaging, kind of engages you in the story, I guess. Natalie Portman, I think this is her best performance in the Thor franchise, because I still didn't, even though I said the first Thor is really good, she doesn't really stand out in that movie. She definitely stands out in this movie and does her best in this movie and brings a physicality to her character. Really enjoy her Jane Foster, Mighty Thor in this movie. Also really dig the character dynamics between her and Chris Hemsworth's Thor and just kind of having their little interactions as well. Also, an unexpected thing that I didn't think I would like in this movie. Well, I can't say I didn't say. I thought that they were not going to do my boy justice. Christian Bale as Gore the God Butcher. I found him engaging in parts, and we'll get into that later. He's very enjoyable to watch when he's on screen, and he's a scene stealer whenever he's on. But this is where we're going to start getting into the issues. I'm going to answer the question that you guys are wondering why you clicked on this video. Is this movie woke? And the answer is no. But also a little bit of yes sprinkled throughout. And I'll touch on that more in my spoiler review. Make sure you guys watch out for that. But for now, there are some elements in there that I kind of rolled my eyes out. Or, yeah. I rolled my eyes out. That's exactly what I did. Yes, I know how to speak. Yeah, I rolled my eyes at those scenes, and they definitely... they were interesting. And also, I just want to say, if you guys go to the Marvel movies for CGI, you're going to get plenty of CGI. Whether it looks good or not, you're going to get it. Because this movie, the CG in this movie was actually kind of laughably bad at some parts. I'm not trying to insult the visual effects directors or anything like that. People worked on those effects for like hours and stuff. Because, look at me, do you think I could do a better job? But ultimately, looking at a lot of the other movies and comparing them to this one, this just does not look very good, guys. I'm sorry, I tried to be nice, but CG effects, they're not looking good in this one. Comedy is cranked up to 11, which could be seen as a good thing if it was actually funny.
And giant goats!
Oh, look at those! They are wonderful!
Yes, they are. They also scream quite a lot.
But a lot of this is like Minions humor. Like, it's just meant for like kids would laugh at this. Little kids who think that they're trying to be adult.
And flick!
Oh,
You flick too hard, damn it!
They're not adults. That also ruins the biggest component to this movie, the drama and the fear factor of Gore the God Butcher. They're trying to make him this terrifying character, but the comedy outweighs all those moments so much to the point where it's a very imbalanced film, not very coherent, and this movie also seems to have no identity. It doesn't know what it wants to be at times. It wants to be this like dark story with Gore the God Butcher, and then it just wants to be like this over-the-top, silly, ridiculous, just, I guess, adventure. I will always like Chris Hemsworth as Thor. I will. But they've also really regressed his character. Like, you remember those skits that we saw with Thor and his roommate? Imagine that Thor throughout the entire movie. Yeah, it would get pretty annoying pretty fast, wouldn't it? It's to the point where he's a complete moron at times. While I do like Natalie Portman's performance in this movie, they do a lot of stuff with her character later on that does not feel earned, and I cannot respect, because this character was not built upon enough in this movie, honestly. They underplay a lot of stuff that are some pretty serious topics regarding this character. Christian Bale, what a wasted character. Honestly, every time he was on screen, I wanted to see more of him. I kid you not, I think the moments that he gets screen time are just 5 minutes separated throughout the entire movie. Just, he gets seen, 5 minutes, gone. Scene, 5 minutes, gone. It's almost like they do the stereotypical Marvel villain thing where he shows up, talks about his plan, disappears for a while. Shows up, talks about his plan, disappears for a while. I just don't find his villain very compelling. I wish they did more with him, and this was such a waste for a very talented actor, Christian Bale. I wish they did more with him, and it's just, what a waste.
All gods will die.
I will say the scenes with him and his motivation, whenever they were having him discussing his motivation, or scenes where they showed why he had his motivation, those were the best parts of the movie to me. That and maybe the ending I can compare that to as well. It's gonna sound like an insult, but I guess it kind of is. The beginning and the end of the movie are the best parts to me. Everything in between just, and it's just unfortunate because the Phase 4 just has not been what I wanted it to be. Now we're getting SNL skit Marvel movies, and this is unfortunate because really Thor is a great character if you use him right. This movie did not use him right. They do a lot of things with this character that I'm not on board with. They do a lot of things with other characters that I'm not on board with. And the fact of the matter is, they know as MCU fans, we're just going to keep watching their movies anyways, and it doesn't really matter, right? Because they know that a lot of people are going to like this regardless because it's Marvel. But ultimately, a lot of the silliness takes away from a lot of aspects and doesn't allow moments to breathe. They don't allow some things to happen, and some character deaths are just so quick that it's just, they throw in a quick jokey moment to kind of clear it up. Like, you never feel any sense of danger in this movie. You never feel any sense of suspense in this movie either. And I just didn't feel anything in this movie. And that's sad, man. Like, I'm tired of trashing these Marvel movies recently. And I don't want to, honestly. I want to enjoy them. But when my brain's going in this movie and I have a bunch of complaints about them, it's hard for me to say nice things about these, man. Thor: Love and Thunder is a bad film. This is just my opinion, you guys. Everybody has different opinions, so I just want to say that if you guys like this movie, I will not be against you. I bet if you like this movie, you guys loved Ragnarok. So if you loved Ragnarok, you're probably gonna like this one. But I didn't love Ragnarok, and I feel like they went even further with it than they needed to, and ultimately it just cost a lot of story, a lot of character development, and it also cost a lot of moments that could have worked, but ultimately didn't work because of the goofiness, bad storytelling, and just bad character dynamics throughout the movie. Thank you guys very much for watching. I appreciate you guys taking your time to watch this video. And if you guys have not already, make sure you guys like the video, share, and subscribe today to join the Isolization.